Pilates Matwork session where today we're going to work particularly into the hips. We're going to do some lovely hip mobility exercises and then some exercises to strengthen the hips. Of course we'll warm up the body first, the whole of the body, and then we'll start to target the hips. So we're going to start off in a standing position with your feet just a little wider than your hips. Allow your knees to be soft as you stand into the floor, and as you press the floor away with your feet, think of the crown of your head reaching up towards the ceiling. The pelvis is in a neutral position, the ribs softening down towards the hips, the chest is open, the neck is long, your chin is parallel to the floor. And you're feeling a sense of tone front to back and sides across the torso of the body. We're going to start off with an arm exercise where we spiral the arms inwards and outwards inside the shoulders. So let's start with the arms rotating inwards as much as they comfortably can. So maybe the palms of your hands actually face out away from the body. Just watch you don't round your chest though, so keep the chest open, the shoulders as wide as you can, but the arms turned inside the shoulders. We're going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, the arms go outwards and they spiral outwards and come up to the ceiling, palms facing in. As you breathe in, the arms come down and rotate inwards towards the body. Breathe out, go out and up. Breathe in, come down and rotate in. I'll just show you from the side on as well. So the palms are away from the body, we go out, the arms spiral out and they come up to the ceiling. And then we rotate in. Keep that sense of connection at the front of the body, so ribs to hips, strong center, long spine. Remember, keep the knees soft. We'll do 2 more sets. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Last one. And when you finish, let the arms just relax inside the shoulders. Let them return to their normal positions. So we'll come into a side reach next to warm up the spine in lateral flexion and to lengthen the sides of the body. So again, keep the knees soft. Bring your right arm up to the ceiling. We'll go up and over to the left, stretching away from that right hip. Relax the left arm. Now let your arm come down first. And then when you feel it start to draw the shoulders back, bring your head up and stand tall. Breathe in, left arm comes up. Breathe out, reach up and over to the right. Breathe in there. Breathe out, arm comes down, shoulders, neck and head return. We'll do 2 more to each side. Keeping that sense of weight into both legs. Try not to get really light on one foot if you can help it. Keep thinking of reaching up and away to the top corner of the ceiling with the crown of your head. And release the shoulders. And from here, let's come into Pilates stance. So you could walk your legs, your feet inwards. And when your legs are connected, we're going to turn your feet out into that little V position. So the heels stay connected, the toes are spreading wide into the mat in that V shape. Think of that connection, so the bottom is engaged, the inner thighs pulling together, and that lovely connection running down the center of the legs. We're going to do a waist twist in this position. So the challenge is to keep your pelvis facing forwards. So that's why we have a nice active bottom connection in this position, rather than when we twist the spine, bringing the legs, the pelvis with us. Hopefully no movement in the pelvis, just in the spine. We're going to do an exercise with the arms, so I'm going to come a little bit further forward so I have the space behind me. So finding your Pilates stance, arms float up to the ceiling. Now we're going to twist to the right first, bring the left arm to the front, the right arm to the back, and then lift to the center and twist to the left. Breathe out as you rotate. Breathe in as you come back. Try to keep the pelvis facing forwards. It's a lot of work to maintain that pelvic stability. But think of your spine, your rib cage, spiraling from side to side. Get taller as you come back. Last one to each side. And when you finish, relax the arms and release those legs. We're going to come into some little knee bounces next to find some lovely elasticity in the joints of the knees. So let's bring your feet back to hip width apart, parallel. Again, soften the knees. Relax your arms, and we'll start off just with a single bounce. So what I want you to do is almost drop into your knees and bounce back. So you drop and lift, and drop and lift. Try and keep your spine upright, so although you're bending your knees, you're not changing the shape of your spine. Let's do a double bounce. So you're going to bounce, bounce, and return. Bounce, bounce, return. Two more sets. Then we'll add in the arms. So if you want to add in the arms, that is, bring them up to the ceiling, nice and high. As you do your double bounce, your arms will swing in front and lift back to the ceiling. Bounce, bounce the knees, lift the arms. Bounce, bounce, lift. Try and swing a different arm in front each time, not always the same arm if you can remember to do that. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. So we're promoting that lovely elasticity in the knee joints, and also a little bit in the ankles as well as we fold into the joint. 3 more sets. And relax the arms, still the legs. We're going to come into that work for the hips now, and we'll start off with a standing on one leg exercise. Then we'll make it a little bit more challenging in terms of range of movement and range of movement. So let's start off, first of all, feet hip width apart if they're not there already. We're going to shift the weight slightly into that left leg and bring your right leg into a knee fold position. You could have the hands on the hips or wide arms, or just let your arms rest to your sides. Now as you lower your leg, keeping the knee slightly bent, tap the floor with your toe and lift the leg back up. You can breathe out as you lift the knee, breathe in as you tap the toe. Try and keep a lovely centered spine, so crown of the head to the ceiling, long in the waists. 2 more sets. And then rest onto that right leg, release the left hip, because your left hip is doing lots of stabilizing while the right hip is doing that movement. We're going to continue just with the right leg, so don't swap the legs just yet. Come back to your standing on one leg with your right leg. Take your hands behind your head. And now as you extend from the knee, both arms straighten and then bend. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Just to show you from a slight different angle. So you're moving from the back of the knee, feeling this in the thighs, and a bit more work in the center, in the tummy. 2 more to go. And then relax the foot, release the arms. Shake everything out again. Now we're going to take this into a backwards lunge, and we're going to start off just nice and gently with that leg movement, then we'll add in a single knee fold, and then we'll add in a bit more movement with the arms as well. So come to the front of your mat, facing away from your mat, and keep the weight into your left leg to begin with. You're going to then step back with your right foot, keep the right heel lifted and find find that long, straight right leg. That left knee bends and folds. Then you're going to push forwards and come back up. So right leg steps back and then push forwards. Step back, push forwards. So we'll do a few more of these. Then we're going to add in a little bit of arm movements as well. So stay back this next time. I'm just going to shift slightly backwards. Now what I want you to do is to bring your right arm to the front, your left arm to the back. When you step forwards this time, bring your right leg into a knee fold. Then step back. Come forwards and step back. So you're trying to keep your balance, trying to keep centered through your spine, facing the front. We'll do 2 more. And then I want you to stay back again. So now let's add in a twist of the spine. When you step forward, twist to the right, looking over that right shoulder. Then step back. Forward and back. Twist and back. You can go as slow and as steady as you want, or you can find a bit more pace, as if you're running, pushing from that back leg. 2 more to go. And then stay back on this last one. Now we're going to keep that back heel lifted, the front knee bent, that left leg bent. Keep your spine upright initially. You might feel a stretch in the front of that right hip. We're going to bring the arms in front and now hinge your straight spine forwards and then lift back up to your upright position. So as you lean forwards, straighten the arms. As you breathe out, come back up. Breathe in to go down. Breathe out to push back up. Every time you go down, you're adding more load onto that front knee, that front thigh. When you push back up, you're opening into that right hip. You can, of course, do this with arms just resting to your sides or resting onto your hips. We'll do 2 final sets. Then you're going to push your back leg to the front and shake it out. I'm out of breath. Maybe you are too. We're going to come into some roll downs now, just one in fact. And at the bottom we're going to do a little leg stretch. So it might feel a little bit unbalanced because we've just worked the right side of the body. So first of all, find that space between your feet. Soften the knees, relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, nod the chin to the chest. Gently start to roll your spine down, bone by bone by bone. When your spine can't roll anymore, let the pelvis tip forwards on top of your legs and then bend your knees until your hands touch the floor. Just a slight amount. Now keep your head looking to the pelvis, keep your hands on the floor and lift your bum upwards and then bend your knees. Breathe out to straighten, breathe in to bend. So you're feeling that length into the backs of the thighs, into those hamstring muscles. 2 more sets. And after your last set, keep your legs relatively straight. Bring your hands a little bit away from the mat, connect your tummy, roll yourself all the way back up, bone by bone by bone, to your good standing. Then we repeat our leg sequence to the left side. So start off first of all, standing on one leg and your toe tap. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Breathing out every time the knee comes up, breathing in as you tap. Trying to keep centered in the body, so not moving the head, the shoulders, the spine. Keep that right knee nice and soft, supporting your weight. Finish that set and shake out the legs. Now let's do the leg extend and the arm extend. So bring your left leg into a knee fold. Take your hands behind your head. As you extend your leg, extend the arms and bend. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. You'll be feeling this much more now into the front of your hip and the front of your thigh, which we will stretch out in a moment. Last one, and rest down onto that foot, release the arms, shake out the legs. Into that backwards lunge again. So this time, you're going to stay on your right foot to the front of the mat, the left leg is stepping back. So find a good starting position, space between your feet, soften the knees, step back with your left leg, keep the heel lifted, bend into that right knee and push forwards. Step back with the left, step forwards. Breathe out to go back, breathe in to come forwards. One more set, then we'll add in the arms. So step back, keep the back heel lifted, left arm to the front, right arm to the back. As you step forwards, knee fold, step back. Let me just shift slightly further back for this. Step forward and step back. So you keep looking to the front, shoulders square, hips square. And then if you want to, you can add that rotation. So you'll step back. The next time you step forward into the knee fold, twist to the left. Step back. Oops. Step forward, step back. Make it slow and steady or nice and quick. Find a rhythm that suits your breath and your body. Two more to finish. Then stay back. Relax the arms. We'll finish with that hinging forwards position. So right foot in the front, bending into that knee. Left leg is long, heel is lifted. You can either bring your arms forwards as you hinge, or you can keep your arms to your sides or on your hips. So straight spine, hinges forwards. The weight will transfer more into that front leg, then push back up. Breathe in to go forwards, breathe out to push back up. More challenging with the arms because you're adding even more load into that front leg and trying to keep your spine really strong and straight. Last one. Then push your back leg to the front and shake the legs out. Release any tension. From there, another roll down, and then we're going to transition onto the mat for part 2. So feet are hip width apart and parallel. In fact, let's come to the back of your mat, and then we'll do one leg stretch, and then we'll come down onto the mat in preparation for part 2. So feet are hip width apart, soft in the knees, relax your arms. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, round through the spine, bone by bone by bone, curling down towards the floor. Hang the arms, hang the head, bend your knees to bring your hands to the floor, and really let the head go loose. Looking towards the legs, you're going to bend your knees even more. Breathe out, straighten the legs. Breathe in to bend, breathe out to straighten. So you're imagining your bottom sliding up a wall and then sliding down the wall. Try not to lift your upper body from the floor. Keep the hands, the head really nice and low. finish this next set, bend your knees, walk your hands forwards, lower your knees to the floor, and walk yourself out into 4-point kneeling position. And then we're ready for our next transition. So I'm going to leave you there and see you in a moment for part 2. Well done.